it's the Outlaw John Rocha. Thank you so much for clicking play on this reaction video for episode 3 of the Acolyte Season 1. Really excited to be diving back in to see what we're going to get. Yeah, the last 2 episodes have been good, but not 100% great. You know, there's some holes in it. Certainly, I talked about, if you watched my last 2 reaction videos, what my initial feelings were coming out of those first 2 episodes. In that, I liked it, didn't love it, want to see more from this world, want to see more from the stakes. And maybe now, as we're moving into the 3rd and 4th episode, we're really going to get some powerful moments, some powerful scenes, some character development, a little more harder edge scenes, so to speak, that really convey the weight and the stakes of these Jedi being killed, and the backstory here between May and Osha and what happened with these 4 Jedi, and why May wants revenge, and why Osha left the Order and is more relaxed about the situation. Remember last episode, she told Soul that, hey, it's totally cool. Things happened. It wasn't your fault. I hope you got over it. But she's still carrying a little bit of anger of what happened with May and the death of their mom, but wasn't enough to shoot her at the end of the 2nd episode directly. She shot around her to kind of help her get away, in essence, and then have some plausible deniability that she made an effort to stop her. But how much of that is true is, I suppose, will be bore out as we keep watching this series here. So I hope you got a chance to watch my first 2 reactions. If not, they're up on the channel. If you want to watch our spoiler reviews, those are also up on the channel for the Geek Buddies and the Jedi Way. And we'll be certainly reviewing this episode on both of those programs here on the channel as well. And I appreciate you all joining us for this. And, you know, we got Yord, we got Jack, we got Jackie, we got Chimera. We got so much going on here. And now we got the Jedi Wookiee rolling through these streets, and we'll get to see a little bit more of what's going to come from that, as well as we saw that tease at the end of the 2nd episode here, and seeing where we're going to go with that as well. Kofar and Kelnaka, who is the Wookiee Jedi. What is the story going to be told? And I imagine, since this is a longer episode, that this will be where we get the background of what happened with May and Osha, and with the 4 Jedi, 2 of which are gone now. And 2 of which Soul and Kelnaka still kicking, so to speak, and where that all is going to lead. Before I dive in, though, I just want to remind you all to please subscribe to the channel down below. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell button, so you see when we're dropping all the content we do here on the Outlaw Nation channel. And head on over to the Patreon if you want to support everything we got going on here on the Outlaw Nation channel, patreon.com/John Rocha. All right, let's not waste any time. I'm going to just give a 3, 2, 1 countdown, and we'll go from the logo. And go from there. So here we go. Episode 3 of the Acolyte. 3, 2, 1, go. Play. All right, we start out on Brenock, which is, of course, where, 16 years earlier. So we are just going right to the flashback. Brenock is the planet of May and Osha. And, of course, 16 years earlier, a fire broke out on that planet that May supposedly set, and might have cost the life of Osha in May's mind. I don't know, because she was surprised to see Osha at the end of the 2nd episode. Oh. We see the young actresses who play these characters. Now, if you're watching these reactions, I think I'm going to know all these, like, what is that butterfly or what creature that is? Maybe that's an allusion to something in the High Republic. Or in Clone Wars. I don't always know that stuff, so just letting you know ahead of time. Oh!
I look here. The Bunta tree's so beautiful. But
oh, the Bunta, which is the poison.
Let it go, May. Stop!
Wow, May clearly the darker of the 2.
I don't want to do the Ascension. It's just a ceremony.
What's the Ascension? Wow. Michael was saying in the previous episode that we needed some more of these kind of Star Wars shots. I thought that was a cool shot.
I'm with you. Always one, born as 2.
Yeah, we heard that phrase in episode 1, I think.
I
Yeah.
give you you, and you give me me.
So it seems like May is the alpha of the 2.
Sorry, Mother Coral.
Oh.
There will be consequences for breaking the rules.
Little Darth Maul species action. So they both break the rules, but in different ways. Oh, there's a young soul. Oh, wow. What's that all about? By the way, got to give a shout out to the music over the last few episodes. Michael Abels, I think, does a nice job, here with so far through the season with these music cues. I like that music cue we just heard too to kind of get us into this area of Brenock. They're bowing to them, so they must be princesses of some kind.
Let them have some spice creams.
Ah, Jodie Turner-Smith. There it is. Good to see her finally in the show.
Must have sweet treats.
Mother Anasea, which is, of course, the last name of the two.
Meet me in the common room for your training session.
Now, we noticed the marking, which is what May had, but I don't know if we noticed it on Osha.
Away.
Oh, I guess
You want to say something?
they are the two mothers when they referenced mothers.
A firm hand is required.
Osha is testing her boundaries. It's normal behavior for a child.
This is stereotypical mother-father conversation.
Twins are not normal children.
So what's that mean? The twins are not normal children. What is that an allusion to?
But we know the thread is not a power. You wield.
Interesting. So different approaches to the idea of the Force, right? Why not?
You to your destiny.
Multiple sects of Christianity, multiple
binds
sects of a Jewish approach to theology there as well, to the religious approach to theology there. So yeah, it would make sense that different people would see the Force in different ways. And maybe not agree with the Jedi's interpretation of the Force. So we see the two girls like going at each other, not paying attention to their mother and what she's trying to teach them here. I wonder if this is part of the ceremony or part of their lessons. There you go.
Let go of me. You look.
She's like, I told you.
Your enemies will not warn you before they attack.
Wow.
Get up.
Strong when she needs to be. Appreciate that. See, that's May, who's willing to fight. Osha, not so much. I think some of us have had that parent. What is that?
But that's how we become witches.
Ah,
I don't know if I want to be a witch.
interesting. Okay.
Of course you want that.
This idea of not wanting to be what your parents tell you to be or what your family wants you to be, what's expected of you.
The galaxy is not a place that welcomes women like us.
Interesting.
Witches who have the abilities we...
Clearly, the idea of othering, right? A place is not... The idea doesn't welcome people like us. Speaking from either a black point of view, a gay point of view, a black female point of view, a black female gay point of view, this idea of not being accepted by the galaxy. And she clearly is trying to protect her. Shades of Into the Woods, like with Bernadette Peters' character and Rapunzel, right? Trying to keep her instead of let her onto the world.
Don't you wonder what could be out there besides Brenock?
This has like cult-like vibes to it. This idea of kids born up in a society or born into a society, and one wants to accept the cult and is happy in the cult, and one wants to break away from the cult. And I don't mean cult in the negative connotation of cult, more a matter of just a group of people who come together and create their own society and create their own tenets of existence, so to speak, and expectations and rituals and traditions. And of course, being a coven here, which is with witches. And with Star Wars, not always witches is not always negative, right? Oh. Wow. It's very cool. Listen to those sounds, those whispers, those voices.
Or because some would consider our power dark.
Interesting.
The gift of life!
Interesting. So, even more backstory within the or even more questions and mystery within the backstory. Who hunted them down? Why were they rejected? And how did they achieve this kind of life? Did she have these children? Did they find these children? Are there her babies? How did that come about? Questions, questions, questions. Are they born from a tradition or a ritual or some kind of witchcraft? I don't know.
What the thread has tied together, no one can separate.
Ooh, I love that shot with the moon in the background. The moon, that moon, the planet's moon. Oh, interesting. Oh, wow.
Do you vow upon my death to protect the secrets of our
Yeah, there it is.
ascend?
So what happens with Osha? Ooh. Uh-oh.
The Jedi!
They've sliced the platform.
Now we're getting it from 2 points of view, right? We trust the Jedi, and now we've seen it from the witch's point of view, why they fear the Jedi, what it is about the Jedi. Is the Jedi connected to why they were rejected or run out or weren't accepted? And, oh, here we go. Here's everybody. Wow. There's the young Dean Charles Chapman. Yeah, the makeup wasn't great on him in the previous episode.
Good evening.
Master Torben. And then,
I am Master
of course,
Indara.
Wave Indara and Soul. So this is the shot from the trailer.
The all-knowing Jedi were ignorant of their surroundings.
Little shot there.
There are no children here.
So they lie to the Jedi. To protect, I imagine. But are they doing something legal? Are they doing something that is dangerous? Then again, the Jedi are violating their sovereignty. Because, I mean, what is the deal with Brenock? Did they purposely know that it was uninhabited? Or are they telling the truth that they didn't know it was uninhabited? Like, are they lying to them or did they know? Osha's the one that comes out, which is why she becomes Soul's Padawan. So what is the concern about training children? If the Jedi can train children, who are they to tell them to not train?
Where is their father?
That's a question. Yeah, where is the father? Oh, wow. He's handing her his lightsaber.
Would you like to be tested and see if you could become one?
Yes.
What motivates him to do this? Oh, there it is. That's what we saw in the dream in episode 1, the black eyes turning. Wow.
As potential Padawans. With your
Wow.
permission, of course.
This is interesting. The Jedi coming in and taking... I mean, we saw that obviously in The Force Awakens.
We appreciate your cooperation.
So what's this all about? Like, this is fascinating because, right, you look at it as the Jedi are being seen or portrayed here as a little bit of the bad guys. This idea that they want to come in and we have a right to test your children to join our order. You don't have a right to take your children and keep them in your order. So, interesting.
Blood, and the Republic would destroy us.
There are only 4 Jedi. Who would miss them?
Mother Coral's too aggressive.
I carried them.
Interesting.
I created them.
Whoa.
What happens if the Jedi discover how you created them?
There's the mystery. How did she create them?
Has 2 outcomes.
There's always an elder.
They take us away. We never see Mama again.
Yeah, this is kind of...
But as you grow, what you want, it changes, it shifts.
Well, she's not wrong.
With Bunta, in summer with bows and arrows.
Right, because later on we find out that she tried to be a Jedi but left.
It's time. Come, my loves.
They always change the music cue with her. It's a darker music cue. So basically, she's telling them to fail on purpose so they don't get taken by the Jedi. As if the Jedi can't... Oh, that's a cool ship. As if the Jedi couldn't figure that out. So clearly Osha's enamored by the life of the Jedi.
I want to say what's in my heart. You have to lie.
These aren't the strongest, youngest young actors, I will say.
Promise me.
But
Fine.
I'm still invested in them. But you can tell that, like, Osha is not going to do what they tell her to do. So it becomes obvious, and that's where sometimes I have issues with how certain things are laid out. We as the audience must kind of buy into the fact that she might not say yes. So I don't know. You have to kind of lean more heavily into the possibility and play the confusion or the questioning in quiet moments by herself. Joonas Suotamo there. So she didn't get to see the test.
What are you doing?
I was just taking a blood sample.
You don't tell them before you take blood out of them? Yeah, it's not a...
A spaceship.
Look how young Soul looks.
Correct.
What?
Correct.
That wasn't a
Tricks her.
What do you want, Osha?
Yeah, this is so unfair because she's young. This is fascinating. It's a gutsy decision to try to undercut the Jedi a little bit. And we've seen that already in different projects.
I was only 4
What? 4?
to say what you want.
So he's putting it on a young girl like, hey, because he's almost kind of
I want to be a Jedi.
influencing her to say this. But again, she clearly had an instinct to want to do this, but he is bringing it out.
Courage to tell the truth.
I don't know. I think it's dangerous the way they're approaching this.
We should
But,
continue
okay. Why is Soul so invested in her? See, May found it easier to lie because May is more driven to be part of the dark side. Osha is not. So her proclivity is to tell the truth. Her proclivity is to do what's right. And they are the balance, the dyad, so to speak. Kind of like Rey and Kylo.
I don't want to be a witch.
What's wrong with you?
Oh, whoa. I mean, you had to have known if you had children, with however they came about, that children can be headstrong. She was probably headstrong. You know, this adults forget what they were like as children.
Fear should not make this decision, Osha. You should.
She's an excellent mother. Excellent mother. She has obviously what she wants her to do, but she
I
wants to
wanna be a
respect.
Jedi, Mama.
Oof, there it is.
I do.
How many of you watching right now have had this moment where you've broken away from your families or walked a path that your families didn't want you to walk? I mean, this is so universal, you know?
But we will consider your wish when we do so.
I've always had the desire for more. So I've always been the one that like,
I love you, Mama.
oh,
I love you.
I left to join the military. I left to go to Florida State. I left to go to California. And my parents and family have stayed in Virginia the whole time. But, you know, some of us are just born with that instinct for more, desire for more, or to go, you know, in different places and explore. And there's no judgment either way, you know. And also just because we go for it doesn't mean we'll get it. That's also very strong truth. What is that? Oh, interesting. Oh, here we go.
It's not up to you. You can't stop me. Yes, I can. How? I'll kill you.
Wow. Wow. What is that symbol? Does she set the fire? Oh my God. Oh, wow. Oh. Oh, wow. So what happened there? Did she drop it? Did she purposely throw it in there? What's the situation here? Doesn't she have force powers to use here?
Come on. Come on.
Oh, she's a mechanic, of course. Natural. Her natural instinct, rather, is to figure things out from a technical point of view. What does she see as she's sneaking out here with these tunnels? Whoa. Oh, wow. Oh! Oh, wow. So this is the moment where he has to choose between the two, I imagine, when he talks about, I wanted to save you both. Whoa. Oh! Oh. Very similar to episode 1, right? Where he saves her off the cliff.
I got you.
Oh, wow. How did this happen? How did all the witches die? Questions, questions, questions. No way May did all of that. Oh my God. Wow. I have a feeling this isn't the last time we're going to go back to this sequence or story. Oh, wow. And that's the ending of the episode? Or no? Oh, no. Okay, we got more. I was going to say, because she's been doing these cliffhangers the last 2 episodes. So he wasn't in time to save May, which is why they think May died, but he did save Osha, which is why she's on the ship here.
May started a fire.
How do they know May started the fire?
No.
Wow. No. I take it back to what I said. She's doing really well here in this moment. It's heartbreaking.
Your train is my bottle.
Oh.
You will never feel like this again.
I buy their connection. I just would like to have seen a bit more here. Yeah. I guess that's the end. No, I guess we're not in it. Okay, we're doing a little Lord of the Rings. We'll just keep going to black frames and starting new scenes here near the end of the episode. Oh. Is this the beginning of her dream sequences? Oh, this is May. Oh, yeah. What does she see there? Interesting. Directed by Kogo Nara. Okay. All right, so here's what I'll say. I think this is an excellent episode in terms of the backstory and giving us more with May and Osha, the questions we had about in the first 2 episodes, like what was going on, what was the story. I don't know that I necessarily came away with it understanding why May wanted to kill these 4 Jedi beyond the fact that she's still upset that Osha went off with the Jedi, but Osha clearly wanted to go from the beginning. It's very clear. So I think they're going to have to do a little more work to help us to understand why there was this issue and why she wants to get this revenge. What did the Jedi do? What happened? The fire is mysterious. Yes, we saw her holding something, and we heard something shatter, but we don't know who actually started the fire. We don't see who actually started the fire. We could insinuate or extrapolate that she started the fire, and certainly Soul said she started the fire, but we didn't see who started the fire. So there's still more to this mystery here that I think we're going to find out as the series goes along. But I thought some of the visuals here were really nice. The shots of them in the woods there I thought was fantastic. In the forest there. Love the designs. The costumes were gorgeous. The design of where they live there I thought was really cool and interesting as well. Seeing the Jedi come in. The de-aging I thought was fantastic. However they did that looked excellent. But some really difficult conversations to be had about the Jedi. And clearly we see them as 2 mothers, so maybe some people will have an issue because we have lesbians in Star Wars. God forbid everybody lose their mind. But this idea of the Jedi coming in and taking your children, like that's how they see it, is taking your children. How did Osha become enamored by the Jedi? It can't just be robes or whatever. Like there's more to fill in here. Why did Osha become enamored of the Jedi? What did she see of the Jedi that made her become enamored? And why does Soul feel such a personal connection? And clearly Soul's been watching them, right, as he was accused of when they went into talk to the coven there. And so what's the backstory with all of this? So there's more here, because even whether Anastasia says, like, you know, Mother Anastasia says, you know, you've been watching us, or says that what's this all about, or questions how they came to this planet and to Brenock and what have you. So there's questions here, but then of course she has a mystery of her own. How did these children get born? Who is the father, or what is the father? Oh boy, here we go again. So fascinating stuff to see what more we're going to get. I liked the episode. I thought it was interesting in terms of what it explored. The idea of questioning more of the Jedi, kind of like we saw in the first 2 episodes, the Jedi a bit too cocky, a bit too arrogant. In my opinion, with Soul, a bit too soft in certain moments. So what are we getting here from the Jedi? What questions are we asking of the Jedi coming out of this episode with how this is all about? Also, the idea of sovereignty. The idea of like, well, we're not adhering to the Republic. Why do we have to follow the rules of the Republic? Those are valid arguments to have in that situation. So, this is fascinating stuff here. And also this idea that we just kind of assume the Jedi are great. Well, no, people in power make mistakes. People in power think that they have to keep recruiting younger people to be part to keep the order going, right? If the Jedi didn't go out to go find young people who were Force users to keep their Jedi ranks full, then they would thin out. And if they thinned out, their power would also diminish. So there's questions now as we dive in deeper into the Jedi Order and what have you. So I think these are valid questions to have, and I like the way they were presented here in this episode. So I think this is my favorite episode of the first 3. So, I'm kind of curious to see where we go next in the 4th episode, but certainly an effective episode to get us, to give us more of the mystery and add more of the pieces to this puzzle that we're piecing together here over the next 5 more episodes after this one. So yeah. All right. Well, there you go. That's my reaction to it all. I'll spoiler review it, of course, much more deeply with the Geek Buddies and the Jedi way. But let me know what you thought about it down in the comment section below. What stuck out of you? And please remember, I am not watching this 4 times. This is my first time watching it. So if you're going to come after me for certain things, or why didn't you see this? You're like, be aware, I'm just watching it for the first time. So temper your anger a little bit through that prism if you don't mind. But let me know what you thought about it all. What worked for you? What didn't work for you? Do you like the mystery? Do you appreciate where it's going? Is this, are you a person who's liked the first 2 episodes? Does this feel good as well? Let me know down in the comment section below. Or do you have some questions here about how certain things were presented? Let me know down in the comment section below. Would appreciate that as well. All right, you guys are amazing. Thanks so much for watching this. Click a like on this video, share it on your social media. More than anything else, please subscribe to the channel down below and hit that bell button, and come back and join me next week for another brand new reaction video for episode 4 of The Acolyte here on the Outlaw Nation. Take care.